Two, what's up, man? It's your boy Richardson from Minimum Wage to Millionaire. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here, welcome back. So, guys, it's that time. Every quarter of the first, we do the net worth update video. So, for my OG subscribers, you guys already know how this goes. I show you guys my updated assets, my updated liabilities, if I have any. And then I show you guys the quarter to quarter update of my net worth. So if you're new, that's generally what I do. I usually do on the first of every quarter. So January, April, July, and October. I do this. And then my main objective with showing this, as well as just tying it back to the original objective of my YouTube channel, is to show that how I'm going from a minimum wage worker to a millionaire, and showing you guys that, I don't have to benefit from nepotism. I don't have to have a huge lawsuit win out. I don't have to have, an inheritance or something of that sort, to show you guys the sustainable path of becoming a millionaire from minimum wage worker. So if you guys like this video and videos like this, I'll put, please feel free to subscribe and like the video. And also, I created a whole separate playlist on my YouTube channel so you guys could actually see the quarter to quarter updates from net worth if you're interested in that. So let me not waste any more time. The app that I'm going to use is right here, Networth Tracker. The reason why I like using this app is that you manually have to add in the information, which makes it, at least to me, it makes it more focused when I'm prepping this video. And also sometimes when you link your accounts to those automatic trackers, they don't track your accounts up to date. Maybe they'll show you, an account that was last updated a week ago, and then you have to kind of go do extra work. So it's like, why not just have this manual tracker? And I just like it. So I'm just clicking on this and bam, there you go. This is my update. $15.40 is my current net worth as of April 1st, 2026. All right. And let me just see if I could show how it was last time. Can I show that? No. Sorry, guys. I need to start playing with the app so then I could just kind of know. But I think the last reported I just look at this. When I last reported, it was, I think it's like 23,000. So I raised my net worth by roughly 3,000, and I know exactly what the reason is, but I'll break it down when I go with the numbers. So yeah, we've seen some growth. Obviously, we're trending our net worth in the right area, and you'll notice that just from the categories that I'm showing you guys right here, I have no liabilities because as of last year, September, I've opted in to live my life completely debt free. I have no interest in going back to debt, and I'm going to try to live this life as long as I can. I know there may be some hurdles, like if I ever want to be a homeowner, I have to consider those things. But, as of now, living my life complete debt free is my main goal. So you'll notice I have no liabilities, but I have all the assets. So let's just jump into it. And I categorize them by the most value. So you'll notice that at the top, it shows my Roth IRA. And my Roth IRA, and I think, you could see from January 1st when I last updated it to today, my Roth IRA actually went down by like $64. Really, I don't really have any reason for it. It's just market fluctuations. Obviously, since the last quarter, right, we've had a lot of things going on. Not trying to get too political, but through this administration and even from the last month, we know what's been going on over with Iran and all that stuff. So obviously, market's been fluctuating. I think the last day or two, the market's actually recovered a bit. But yeah, just regular market fluctuations. I'm not really complaining about this because that's just what I signed up for. And again, I'm investing for the long term, so that doesn't really bother me as much. So next thing, and this is the biggest explain for the month to month, quarter to quarter growth in my net worth, is my emergency fund. The last time I updated, which was January 1st, as you guys can see, January 1st of this year, till now, my emergency fund savings have went up by a little bit under 3,000. I think it's like 2,700. So it went up a lot. And because my main goal is to build up and really start stacking that emergency fund, it's my main objective for it was towards the end of last year as well as for now in the beginning of this year. My hope is that by the summertime, I would have reached my emergency fund goal, and then I'll start pivoting to other financial goals. But this is my main structure. So it makes sense why the bulk of my net worth jump came from this. And having that emergency fund, I have a couple videos talking about it. Even more recently, I think like a week ago, about my emergency dental bill, where I went in to go do a cleaning, find 3 cavities. They had to fill it up, and had to drop literally $700 on that bill, which sucks because had I not had dropped that 700, as you can see, I would have had 7,000, right? So it does kind of suck, but that's what makes the emergency fund so powerful, is that it turns catastrophes into inconveniences. Because for the most part, it was just a minor inconvenience for me. It wasn't the end of the world. Versus someone that didn't have an emergency fund, and then you had to drop $700. Well, for most people, you would probably have to take on debt. And if you can't pay it back, let's say in a reasonable time frame, the interest will start carrying away. So just one of those important things to note. But yeah, my emergency fund, my personal vehicle, if you guys know, I have a payoff 2013 Toyota Camry, and the value pretty much fluctuates. Like one quarter, it'll drop by a couple hundred. One quarter went up. To my benefit, it went up by $500 worth of value. I don't know how that's the case, because I probably put in that 3 month period, I probably put in an extra like 3,000 miles on it. So I don't understand it, but I use one of those like Carvana / Kelly Blue Book value traders. So that's how I'm able, and they give me monthly updates. And I was like, oh, okay, it went up by $500. I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't plan on selling my vehicle anytime soon. I'm going to wear it down to the ground, but I guess it's nice to know that it increased in value. So you'll notice 2 new categories that I put, and these are the next 2 categories. The first one is the 401k. Now, I started my 401k, I want to say, well, literally the last paycheck that I got paid was the first contribution. That's why it's so low. But I started my 401k because, again, before the dental emergency, I was approaching that point where I was like, okay, my emergency fund is approaching the end, where I feel comfortable to have, at least in terms of, a couple months of living expenses. So I was about to pivot to a 401k match contribution, as well as starting my HSA. But then, of course, that dental plan pushed it back. But I've already set it up my 401k. So that's where kind of that goes in. Doesn't really matter because I put a low percentage amount. I put about 5%, which at my job, they match 5% of your contributions. So it's not a lot, but I put something there, and it grew. Again, the last couple of days, the markets were up, so it grew like, I think, $20 or $30. So pretty good with that. But 401ks, later on in the year, it'll definitely scale up more. I'm thinking about possibly opening an HSA and maxing the HSA first, because it's triple tax advantage, then upping my 401k contributions. But, I could play with that a little bit later throughout the year. Another one, I decided to open a category, which is taxes savings. I need to reword that because that sounds very off. But the point of this is that because you guys checked my yesterday's video with my Uber Eats is a viable side hustle video. I'll link that in the description below if you haven't checked it out. But when you are doing these side gigs or 1099 income or whatever, anything outside your W-2 job, you have to set money aside for your taxes. And it was kind of I thought about it like over the last couple of days, like, why don't I have a separate savings account for those taxes? And then why not include that to my net worth? Now, granted, this is pretty much like an expense, not really tied to my net worth, because the taxes that I'm saving up it's going to get paid by the end of the quarter. So on one front, I was like, do I need to include it? But I just thought, because I have that savings, I might as well include it to my net worth video. So don't expect this to really be a large amount until I, let's say, grow other 1099 businesses. And once I do grow my business and stuff like that, whether it's YouTube or something like that, then of course you're going to see a lot more amount on this account because, I would be making more revenue and then I would have to set more aside for taxes. But that's the reason for those categories. So we're almost done. The next one after that is taxable investing. This is my taxable investing account. Again, it went up a couple dollars. There was a day where I guess they paid out dividends in one of my accounts, taxable accounts. They paid out like a couple cents of dividends, but I was trying to reinvest it back. But for whatever reason, and I use Robinhood with the taxable brokerage account, you can't invest if it's less than $1. So what I did was that I was like, okay, it's kind of annoying just having like, I don't know, like 17 cents of dividends just sitting in my account, not doing anything. So I put in a couple dollars of spare dollars that I had in my checking account in order to be able to just kind of be able to invest that, right? Because it wouldn't automatically reinvest the dividends because it was less than $1. So that's why it's not that my taxable brokerage account skyrocketed in value or anything like that. Again, my priorities once I finish my emergency fund, at least from a financial aspect, I'm going to invest more into HSA, then maybe up the 401k contribution from currently 5% to somewhere like 10 to 15%. And then any additional money after that, I probably will put in a taxable account because you could do a lot with a taxable brokerage account. And it's a great saving vehicle. I think it's flexible because there's no penalties to withdrawing your money or anything like that. You'll just have to pay taxes on your gains. So maybe in the future, maybe not later this year, but sometime this account will start to grow. And the last thing is my main checking account. Now, you'll notice the big drop from $922.98 to $11.80. I want to just make this clear. My OG subscribers and viewers, you kind of already know my thought process on this. But for the new subscribers, I do what's known as a zero-sum budget as well. I primarily spend most of my money through debit cards / cash. So what happens is that when I get paid, I usually that same day or the next day, I would automatically send my money to where it needs to go. So I'll either put it in an emergency fund, I'll either withdraw it, I'll either prepay some of my bills, and I'll pretty much take care of most of my money needs within the first day or two that I get paid. So what happens is that throughout the month, my account looks relatively low and it gives the impression that, oh, you're living life on like a razor thin edge, when in actuality, I have already allocated and spent my money throughout the month with my paychecks. So don't let that low number scare you. Again, I'm not struggling. I'm able to pay my groceries and pay my bills and all that. So I'm not no overdrafts or anything on this side. But I just need to emphasize that. And the reason why you have that big drop from $922 to like $11.80 is because when the $922 when I did that video, I think I got paid either that same day or the day before that. So it gave that artificially higher number, whereas April 1st, I got paid last week, March 20 something. So I've already allocated my funds. So that's where the big discrepancy comes from. And that's cool with me because, again, the checking is just used for either bills or spending versus the savings and other, cash-based accounts, which are used for other means. So that's it, guys. That's my loans. Again, $26,000, $26,015.40. Growing slow and steady. Hopefully by the end of the year. I don't know if I put this on my financial goals of this year, but I think by the end of this year, I want to clear to 35,000. I think we could reasonably do that if the stock market turns around throughout the year. Plus, I fully fund my emergency fund, and then plus start investing in my HSA and 401ks. I think I could easily hit that, but That's my goal for this year, $35,000. And I think I can hit that realistically. So thank you guys. I won't take any more of your time. This is Richardson from Minimum Wage to Millionaire. May the Lord be with you all today. Have a nice day.